Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. Today we are going to be doing this look on this eye. Obviously figuring, right? I'd had a lot of comments when I wore this the other day on my Clover from Too Faced palette review. 4 different people, and then I'd also pasted it. I'm gonna leave this in here. I'm not editing this. It's not. On Facebook, Instagram. I had posted it on both of those too, and had comments like that. Plus, I wore it to work and got a ton of comments. So it's a little over the top for work normally for me, but I was having fun with this look, so we're going to keep going with it. Alright, it is a combination of 2 palettes. The first one is Color Rain's Queen of Heart. The second one is Juvia's Place, and it is their Masquerade. I'm only using 1 shade out of there. This one, we are going to start this look out with Ladyship. Now, it's a color a lot of people struggle with. I know the original palettes, it was really patchy. I have from when they made it permanent. I think they must have reformulated, because I've not had patchiness as an issue. I do have my eyes primed with the Ulta Beauty Nude Matte Eyeshadow Primer, their version of Urban Decay's Primer Potion. Primer Potion is better, but this is like a hair behind it. Okay, I'm going to be picking up the color Ladyship on what is considered a concealer brush from Juvia's Place. It does not have a name or number, it's part of their sets. And I'm going to come out from underneath the eye, dragging that line where my eye is, but then I'm going to emphasize it and drag it out further. Kind of like brushing out. I'm trying not to deposit too much color, because I do have my concealer on, but I can come back and touch it up. So I can kind of help me get this line. So I started out low, and then I brought it up. Now, I can play with this line as I need. Alright, we're going to grab some more of that Ladyship and pat it in above that line. Just patting it in. I'm tapping it on. I'm not bluffing it in or patting hard. I'm just real lightly tapping the color onto in almost an almond shape on the outside of the eye. Now I'm going to start bringing it up over the eye. Now, because I have a deeper fold, I have a deep fold with a slight hood. I always bring my shadows up. The more hooded your eyes are, the more you're going to have to change how you access and use colors. If you have a really deep hood where you almost can't see the lid, then you need to make a false crease further up in that brow line to create depth, and then shade everything underneath it the same shade, or play with it. There's a couple different tricks to that. I'm actually going to be hopefully doing some videos. I'm trying to figure out how I can show it in the video what I want to talk about with different folds and how to place color in the same eyes. I might even do some sketchings and just do it that way. I also had somebody recently tell me that they get really confused about all the brushes and how you use them and why you use them that way. I might be doing a series on that. I was debating on it. I'm sorry, my nose is itching really bad. I'm having allergy problems, which you can tell by my voice, which is like almost gone. So we're just placing color now. This is just like, and I'm just using the slightest tapping motion like that. Just to tap in color and blend it out. Yeah, like that. We'll be in making this darker. And normally I only bring it to here. I'm actually bringing it underneath because I'm creating a more dramatic look in this eye by pulling it out further out. One person didn't like this. They said it took away from my actual color of my eyes. And that's completely their opinion. Everybody is a loud opinion. And I can see what the person was talking about. But I'm all about that color. And I like color. So this has been way too much fun for me today. Playing with makeup and just going at it. The next color I'm going to pick up is from the Juvia's palette. It is from the Masquerade palette, and it is Bori. And it is this bright pink that has like a micro shimmer, and it's supposedly a gold fleck micro shimmer, but it really doesn't show up on your eye. But this color, ooh, look at that intense pink. It's hard to find a pink that intense. Now, Juvia's Place was originally formatted, I can't speak today, for Afro-Americans, people of darker complexion. So these things usually are extremely pigmented. You do need to use a light hand if you don't like a lot of color. I'm getting fallout down here. I knew that was going to happen. It happens every time with my Juvia's Place. Okay, and then I'm going to come up and touch just the top of the brow here with that pink. Just the top of it. Deposit it. I know it's a little strong, but we'll be blending it in here in a few. You could always leave it like this. This would be just gorgeous as its own, but I intensified it more. If you want a lighter look, this would be just a pretty lighter look. Right there, boom, you'd be done. You wouldn't have to do too much more other than an eyeline and maybe some inner highlight, and you'd be good to go. I just went a little darker and full glammed it out. We all know how I am. I'm all about that color. Okay, we got this all tapped in. And it's an intense color. I do find this color does stain my lids a little bit. Now, I've had other light color people say, well, it doesn't stain theirs. And I finally think I figured out what the difference was they are oily skin where I am very dry. And when I say very dry, I am very, very dry. I did not tell you what brush I was using. I apologize about that. This is from Moda. This is their Pro line. This is the BMX 430 crease brush. That is what I used to fluff on that pink there and up here. And I did take a few extra seconds to blend it in. Now I'm going to come back with the same brush and grab some Ladyship and take that in this outside corner and deepen it up. Now this is when you start adding that more intense color. You can leave it light and leave it where you were at right now, and you'll be good to go. But everybody here knows I like some color. I'm all about that color. I'm going to have to clean up my under eye. I'm already planning on it. So, but yeah, no, definitely having fun with color and playing. We all know how this is with makeup. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, like that. Just adding and adding till you get the color you want. And then windshield wiper motion, which works great for distributing and blending between the colors. Don't forget to do the under eye. I know that's kind of weird with this big of a brush, because normally I use smaller brushes, but I knew if I could clean it up with concealer, I wanted to add the color. I'm going to go back in with the concealer brush again to darken underneath his eye and that outside corner. And I'm just doing the same patting motion that I have been doing. I'm kind of drawing that shape in more using color. I am pulling down slightly on my eye just because of how mine crease in. Now, I'll clean this up here in a minute with concealer. Now we're going to take another fluffy brush I have. I have two of those Moda brushes, the Moda Pro BMX 430. I have two of them. So one I'm going to dip into a lighter shade. Now you could use Hair, which is a very neutral base light cream, and that definitely works for blending this out. And now I'm just taking that along the edge and trying to blend it in. Okay, make sure I pick up plenty of the color, and then I'm blending it into that purpley pink. We're actually going to be adding another lighter shade with this too. Now if you overblend, you can always come back, but I always try to get underneath the brow. Now this brush may be too big for people, and it may not be big enough. And that's something you're going to have to realize with everybody, because our real estate on our eyes are all different. Some of us have more depth and some of us don't. As you have more depth and more real estate, you can go bigger brushes. As you have less real estate, you need to be smaller. Okay, here we go. That looks pretty good. Got that blended in. Now I'm going to dip back in Ladyship and come back in like that. I need to build that Ladyship up a little bit more. There we go. See how strong I had that? I had to match that. Now I am going to take a different, this is a flat concealer brush, and I'm going to grab that color Hair again. H-E-I-R, like a hair to a piece of property. And I'm just hitting the underbrow and dragging it down ever so lightly. Like that. And then I'm going to go back and grab on that flat concealer brush was from Juby, so it's part of that set I got. I'm going to go back and grab the Moda brush, the crease one, and blend that line. Just a little circular blending, nothing major. Yeah, almost there. This side's got a little bit more richness to it. Sometimes trying to get your eyes to look like sisters, not always can do twins, I'm gonna be honest. Because your eyes aren't symmetrical anyways, so I need to stop swatching on that side. I'm just adding more product when I don't need to. There we go. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Just adding, layering on. Okay, now I'm going to take that concealer brush I had, the flat concealer brush. And I'm going to grab the color Noble Woman right here. This is hair, by the way. I think I mentioned that. Grab Noble Woman, which is very soft, so don't dig in, because I do that too. I forget and I dig in and I grab a lot of it. And I'm just taking this on the outside edge of the eyelid. Not all the way in, just the outside edge. Look at that color. It really deepened the outside of the eyes and gave them more of that red look. See? But the fallout is pretty bad. So, you have to keep that in mind when you're using this. Yeah, you can see all the pink from the fallout. Okay, now I'm taking a clean crease brush and I'm just going to blend a little bit here. Up here, make sure everything's blended nicely. Sometimes taking that extra time to blend is good. Okay, there, that looks good. That looks very good. I'm happy with that. I'm blending it out underneath. Just take that extra time. I don't like blending a lot for everyday looks, but for the occasional look, I don't mind doing it. I couldn't do this every day. I'd go freaking nuts having to blend all that color out all the time. But yeah, it is what it is for once in a while. I can handle that. Alright, I'm taking a makeup round and I'm using the Pacifica Kale Water. I use that to remove my makeup and just using it to get the spillover from underneath. Now this is when you have to be somewhat strategic. You can't just wipe all the way into your eye. You got to keep some of that color there. So, when you do this, I go halfway underneath the eye and then I drop down. I'm not trying to touch my face with my dirty hands, but I end up doing it. I drag it back and kind of clean up that cheekbone. See how that kind of gives me a cleaner line? You can go over it with concealer if you like, but I find with the Juvia's Place, going over the concealer just starts to blend in with the eyeshadow, and then you have a huge mess on your hands. Trust me, huge, huge mess. Alrighty, we are going to grab one more color, and it is actually not in either one of these palettes. It is the Milani eyeshadow from, I just said who it's from, Milani eyeshadow. It's the number 5 Girls Love Pink. It's in my project pan. I find this works beautifully with this. This is a shimmer pink. If you have any shimmer pinks that are somewhat bright and translucent, I tend to use this one as a highlighter. But even a bright pink highlighter with a lot of glimmer, you can use them as eyeshadows. And that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to use this. Let me grab a slot, bunch of this. I'm going to pack it on the inside corner of the eye and blend it in. Just the inside corner. Don't go too far because you'll lose the pink. We're going to touch that pink up in a minute anyways, but I like this for the inside corner. And then I like this for under the brow. Just up here. And then blend it in. I'm using a very small crease brush that I got from Eco Tools. They don't have it anymore. I've looked for it. I'm actually trying to find a duplicate. And I'll show you what I mean by very small crease brush. This is the Moda. This is this one. Look how tiny that thing is in comparison. It's like a third of the size. And it's perfect for when you want to fluff something in that's light colored without, you know, disturbing everything else that's there. Or multiple colors. Or if you have really small eyes, you'll enjoy this one. Because that's just how it is. And I know I'm using my fingers. I do that. I'll use my fingers to pat on colors and stuff. Because sometimes I find the fingers do a better job. I mean, it is what it is. On that video, I actually did have glitter on my eyes. I had the Stila Magnificent Metals in silver, which I have right here. I was looking for it. I thought I had it. And mine's getting dry, which is really starting to annoy me. I tried the eye drop trick. I've tried the water trick, and it did no. And it's really sheer now, not as thick as like it used to be. And then what I do is I've been patting it up into the pink, like that. I mean, it adds such a pretty sheer effect without being too in your face. You know what I mean? After a while, the glitter likes to fall because the formula's falling apart. I need to get a new silver. I've just been diamond dust. I've just been holding off. I should have bought one of those, the second Christmas pack with all the other ones, and by the time I went to order it, they were all gone. And I haven't looked, I'll be honest, since then. I've just been too busy. So it looks good. Looks good. I am going to do one last thing. I'm going to dip back into that Juvia's. Now this is where you can use a sponge applicator if you don't want to use your finger. I understand. I'm dipping back into that Born, getting it on my fingers, and then I'm tapping it over that glitter a little bit and into the middle of the eye. It creates that extra pink intensity between that and that color in the Noble Woman that I put on the outside edge, and keeps the color very intense by gently patting it in. Like I said, if you don't want to use your finger, use a sponge applicator. And the quality of the sponge applicator can make a difference just like brushes. So if you have a good one, you get a good one. If you get a cheap one, you get a cheap one. It is what it is on that one, right? Alrighty, I'm going to put you, well, you know what? I will. Eyeliner, I used Urban Decay's 24/7 Alkaline from the Heat collection. I just went along the outside corner. And then I came in, just a little bit, nothing major. I don't bring my eyeliner all the way in because of, oh shoot, I just got, oh man, all underneath this eye. Look at that, boom. Takes 2 seconds to wreck a makeup job, right? Alrighty, well we're gonna do concealer yet on this side, and I'm just disputing makeup everywhere. I'm just streaking it on everywhere. Where did I do that little makeup wipe? I had the makeup remover on. These colors are so intense. It's very easy to get them smeared everywhere. And that's the problem with intense colors, is you have to take your time working with them sometimes. You can't just slap them on. But the effect, I think, is more than worth it. I did take the pink, I just remembered. I almost didn't do it. I was going to be mad at myself. And I ran it underneath the eye, towards the middle. And I just used the concealer brush that I'd used before. I'm going to knock off any fallout. And I just tapped it in here. Like that. Right there. That's all I did with it. Just a little bit to give your eyes a little bit of emphasis. You know what I mean? We got to turn that edge up. So now I'm going to take my concealer and touch up those areas that I need to conceal. Right here. Right there, because I had to kill it when I messed up my face. I don't use a lighter one, though it does look lighter, but it blends right into my skin. When I did the one that was lighter, I felt like I had ghosts underneath my eyes. It just wasn't pretty. I have really pale skin, so it's like, I'm not going to go ultra light on this thing. But if you do, you do you. That's how I always say. And I can understand, it's a technique to help build your cheekbones. I have really massive cheekbones already, so I don't need to build my cheekbones at all. So for me, it's like overkill. But for anybody else, go for it. If you're happy with it, and you like how it looks in the end, you do you. It's not against anybody else. Everybody needs to do what works for them. Stupid tip of my nose. Here we go. Yeah, that's it. Pretty simple look. Eyeliner. I'll put my mascara on. And I'll put my lipstick on. The lipstick I had on that day was Wet n Wild Berry Recognize. And over the top of it, I had Jill Buxom Gloss to really give it some bam. I'll be right back with the final look, alright? Hey y'all, and I'm back with the final look. Like I said, for the lipsticks, I use Wet n Wild Berry Recognize with the Jill lip gloss from Buxom on top. Gives me a beautiful lip with the shifting colors between pink and purple with the glitter. It's just gorgeous over the top of this. It does transfer once I do this, though. It's not transfer proof. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put the Wet n Wild on and wear that for a while, and then when my lips start drying down, I put the gloss on it to really oomph it, especially before I go anywhere. So it looks really nice. Blush is a combination of MAC and Too Faced. Highlighter is the Milani. And mascara, right now I've been using Urban Decay's Persuasion. I have a sample size that I'm trying to use up. So, y'all, I hope you enjoy. You take care, and until next time, remember, you do you. Alright? Bye!